Please subscribe my channel. I never thought I'd hear from her again, especially after almost 3 years of no contact. That afternoon, my phone vibrated while I was wrapping up some paperwork at the auto repair shop. My hands were still covered in grease, and my thoughts were somewhere else. The name on the screen froze me in place. Sarah. For a moment, I figured it was some kind of error, a harsh echo from the past. Then the message preview appeared. We need you at our... It stopped there. No period, no details, just those words pulling me right back into a life I'd put behind me. Almost 3 years before, I'd been married to Sarah for 10 years. We had a simple, calm life in a small town outside Portland, Oregon. Nothing fancy, nothing exciting. I put in long shifts as a mechanic foreman. She handled bookkeeping for a nearby business. My closest buddy, Ryan, had been in my life since college. He was at our wedding, standing next to me with his hand on my shoulder, swearing loyalty just like Sarah vowed forever. The affair didn't show any red flags or rumors. It hit me with one picture. A friend we both knew, feeling awkward but truthful, sent it to me late one night. Sarah and Ryan together, way too close for it to be anything innocent. I recall sitting at the kitchen table, looking at my phone until dawn. There was no shouting, no big fight like in the movies. I just packed a suitcase, put the house keys on the counter, and left before they woke up. The divorce went quickly. Straightforward, if you can call cheating that. Sarah didn't contest it. Ryan vanished from my world completely. Friends we shared picked sides or faded away. I relocated to another city, started over bit by bit, a new apartment, fresh habits, new folks who didn't know my past. I figured out how to be on my own without feeling hollow. I quit looking at old pictures. I quit wondering why. Above all, I quit wanting explanations. That's why the text shook me up. It wasn't rage I felt. It was like an unwanted visitor knocking on a door I'd locked tight. I didn't reply immediately. I completed my shift, headed home, made supper, and left the message unread. Later that evening, another text came. Please, it's urgent. No sorry, no mention of what happened before, just pressure. I answered with a single word. Why? Her reply popped up right away, like she'd been holding her phone ready. Ryan is ill, really ill. He wants to see you. I read it twice, then put the phone aside. The room seemed too still. Out of everything she might have said, that wasn't something I'd expected. Almost 3 years of quiet, and now they were calling me back into their lives like loose ends. I didn't rest well that night. Not from missing them, but because old recollections came back without invitation. Fun times at bars, trips together, the sort of shared past you can't delete, only store away. By morning, I'd made up my mind. I wasn't doing it for them. I was doing it for me. To shut a door that had stayed slightly open. The address Sarah gave was new to me. A modest home near the coast in Maine, a good distance from our old place. When I got there, I sat in my car for a bit with the engine off, hands calm. I wasn't anxious, I was determined. Sarah opened the door before I could knock. She appeared older, slimmer, as if the years had treated her harshly compared to me. For an instant, she looked shocked that I'd shown up. Ryan was in the living room, weak, pale, hardly like the guy I trusted, but I still knew him. He tried to talk, had trouble, then motioned for me to take a seat. Sarah lingered uncomfortably, not sure where she fit. That said it all. Whatever they'd created after I left wasn't the triumph they'd hoped for. I'm sorry, Ryan said at last, his voice hoarse. It wasn't grand or polished. It was overdue. I nodded, not in agreement, but to show I'd heard it. He talked about remorse, about outcomes, about regretting his choices. I listened quietly, without cutting in or showing emotion. His words didn't hold sway over me anymore. When he was done, the air felt thick with unspoken hopes. Pardon, resolution, something to lighten their guilt. I got up. I spoke the truth to them both, steadily and clearly. I'd rebuilt my life apart from them. The hardest thing about being betrayed wasn't the hurt, but losing faith in people. And though I didn't hold on to anger anymore, I also didn't feel any duty. Sarah's eyes welled up. Ryan turned his head. I hoped he'd find peace, not reunion. Then I left. No big scene, no backward glances. Just closure. Outside, the ocean breeze felt fresh and sharp. I climbed into my car and headed home. The burden I hadn't noticed was lifted at last. That night, my phone was quiet. And for the first time since her message, I rested soundly, realizing some doors aren't meant to swing open again. They just need to be shut firmly. In the weeks after, I reflected on how the past often tries to crowd into your now. Not because it deserves to, but because old habits feel like they have a right. I saw that their reach out wasn't truly about wanting me. It was about soothing their own worries about ending things without forgiveness. Life doesn't always tie up neatly. Some parts finish without answers, and that's not harsh. It's just what happens. I didn't get anything tangible from returning, but I got assurance. I'd pick myself when it counted, and I picked myself once more. Getting better isn't noisy. Being strong isn't dramatic. Often, it's simply the calm choice not to return to someone else's mess. What becomes of them isn't my concern anymore. And my future isn't defined by their actions. That understanding is plenty, and no one can steal it from me again. I moved on, feeling lighter, more stable, and finished with the past.